During my research into Colt Canada C7 and C8s being used in Ukraine, check out that video if you haven't already, I reached out to the Canadian Ministry of National Defence, and their spokesperson was kind enough to confirm some of the types of small arms and light weapons which Canada has transferred to Ukraine. Due to operational security, the quantities of weapons transferred obviously can't be confirmed, but there's some interesting weapons in the list that might not be what was expected. In terms of anti-tank weapons, we already know that at least 100 Carl Gustaf M2 recoilless rifles were transferred, along with 2,000 rounds of ammunition. We've seen a number of M2s which are potentially of Canadian origin in the field already. Also confirmed back in March was the transfer of 4,500 M72 Law anti-tank weapons. These have probably been seen in the field, but without close-ups of markings, and with so many other countries transferring laws, it's difficult to identify them specifically. Now, in terms of small arms, things get interesting. As we mentioned in our earlier video on the C7s, the spokesperson from the Ministry of National Defence confirmed that Canada has only provided C8 carbines. Sources familiar with the carbines sent to Ukraine noted that the weapons were C8 SFWs with railed forends. So far, the only photo which may visually confirm the presence of Canadian C8 SFWs is one of some Ukrainian SSO operators. An operator in the middle of the photo has a C8 with a railed forend, with a vertical front grip attached. Other operators around him have the C8s with the earlier non-railed handguards. As I say, do check out our earlier video on the C7 and C8s. It was also confirmed that both C9 light machine guns and C6 general purpose machine guns have been transferred. The C9 is Canada's designation for the 5.56 by 45 FN Minimi, while the C6 is their designation for the 7.62 by 51 FN Mag. Canada currently uses the upgraded C9A2 with the 4-position stock and longer Picatinny mounting rail. I've not yet been able to visually confirm the presence of the C6 or C9 in the field as yet, but if you think you've seen some, let me know. The Canadian spokesperson also confirmed the types of precision rifle transferred to Ukraine, noting that both .308 and .338 caliber and heavy .50 caliber sniper rifles were provided. Earlier media reports had suggested that 50 caliber sniper rifles were transferred, but there had been no mention of the medium caliber rifles. It was not stated whether the .338 rifles were chambered in .338 Norma Magnum or .338 Lapua Magnum. While the Canadian military currently fields the C-15 long-range sniper weapon, the Macmillan TAC-50, the Ministry of National Defence did not confirm what exact model had been sent to Ukraine. There have been a number of sightings of TAC-50s, and while a number of countries field them, some of those seen in Ukraine may have originated from Canada. An anonymous source familiar with the program to transfer weapons to Ukraine confirmed that Cadex Defence CDX series rifles had been sent to Ukraine from stores which were never sent to Kurdish forces. These are believed to include CDX TAC rifles in .338 and CDX 50 Tremors in 12.7 by 99. The weapons initially sent to Ukraine were reportedly drawn from a selection of weapons worth an estimated $10 million, which had originally been procured in 2016 for Kurdish forces fighting ISIS in Iraq. The plan to arm the Kurds stalled in 2017, and since then the weapons have been in storage at the Canadian Forces Supply Depot in Montreal. The equipment included sniper rifles, 60mm mortars, Carl Gustaf anti-armor weapons, and a variety of small arms. Reportedly, it's from these stores that many of the sniper rifles sent to Ukraine by Canada have been drawn. In the past, Canada has also provided Ukraine with 50 caliber LRT-3 rifles from PGW Defence Technologies. This type may have again been provided either via the Canadian government's transfer or via private donations from Canadian citizens. Based on information from sources familiar with the transfer, the .338 chambered medium caliber rifles are believed to be CDX TAC rifles from Cadex, rather than the C14 Timberwolf MRS-WS or medium range sniper weapon systems from PGW Defence, which is currently in use with Canadian forces. The .308 chambered rifle mentioned is less clear though. It may be a reference to the 7.62 by 51 Parker Hale C3 rifle, which is still in service, or possibly a 308 or 7.62 chambered rifle from PGW or Cadex. Finally, and perhaps most interestingly, the pistols which were transferred were not Browning high powers, which is Canada's current standard service pistol, which is actually soon to be replaced by the Sig Sauer P320. Instead, Glock 17s were transferred. And sadly, very few images of Glock 17s in use in Ukraine have surfaced so far. Sources suggest that the Glock pistols were also part of the selection of weapons originally destined for the Kurdish forces fighting ISIS. So there we go, guys, that was a roundup of the small arms and light weapons that Canada has sent to Ukraine, and I hope you found that interesting. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, share the videos with friends, support us over on Patreon or via YouTube memberships. Thank you very much for watching, catch you next time.